What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Big Bang Theory After Show here at the Stream.tv. Join the conversation live using the hashtag BigBangAS. And I'm Adam Kruger. With me tonight, we've got Tia and Lexi.
Hi, guys.
Say hello.
Hello.
Leonard and Penny got a dog. Let's talk about
Sheldon
this for a
is the
second.
dog, yes.
Yeah. So we open up with the Container Store, and let's talk about the opening scene.
So yes, the Container Store, I love that because they're coming back and Sheldon assumes, of course, that they're just going to the Container Store for whatever reason. Right. And then he finds out right away that's because Leonard and Penny are planning on moving out.
And poor Sheldon and his disappointment. I mean,
Yeah.
after that, he's like, with the whole container not being able to hold his disappointment. I think it's so sad. It's like all of a sudden he's just hit with it. After a great day of having a blue icy?
A blue icy, yeah, which he would have shared if Leonard had an extra straw.
Yeah.
So I think it comes back to, Sheldon not being able to really handle change very well.
No, not at
all. So
all.
it just ties into that same sort of scenario.
This was a sad episode with that. The whole time I sympathized for Sheldon.
Yeah.
It was like one hit after another, and he, for the first time, had he understood the concept of what was happening, but I think he understood it to an extreme sense. Like he was taking the worst possible scenarios.
But I also think he's actually growing up a little bit with how he's dealing with the change, because before he got on a train and went away.
That is true.
He couldn't deal with it. So at least now even though he reverts back to a time of before, he at least is dealing with it as staying in the same area as everybody.
True. And we see Leonard too have a moment also towards the end.
Yeah.
Remember when they're signing the agreement to terminate the roommate agreement?
Right.
And he's like, well, this is harder than I thought. And then Sheldon in true form,
Yes.
For a moment there, I actually
Yeah.
thought that Leonard was not going to sign it. I thought that was going to be when they all stayed together, which later we find out.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I was like, oh, it's going to happen really soon. They're going to stay
Right.
together really soon. But of course, Sheldon was like, S-H, no, but he spelled Leonard's
Leonard,
name.
yeah.
L-E-O, forget
He's
it.
like,
Yeah. So moving on, of course, then Sheldon seeks comfort, and we see him with Bernie, and she's like the seventh choice, behind Siri. So let's discuss this, Sheldon.
At least Siri is a real person. I found that out not too long ago. That's a real woman's voice.
Well, of course it's a real woman.
For the longest time, I swear to God, I did not know.
You thought it was computer generated?
Yeah, that should give Bernadette a little comfort. If I was Bernie, I'd be like, at least it's a woman.
Well, at least he went to her in the first place. He's moving on.
Yeah.
He's learning to reach out to other people. Granted, she was the seventh person that he thought
seventh.
about, but he did ask for her opinion.
And that does bring up a point, because he feels abandoned, and he's actually reaching out to people. He's not receding into his shell like normally he would
The shell of Sheldon.
The shell receding into the Sheldon.
The Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Dun, dun, dun.
So okay, and then we move on to seeing him interviewing new roommates, and that
Which was hilarious.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What was your favorite roommate moment?
My favorite, of course, was when he was gonna ask the kid, I want to ask you really, what you're into. Oh no, I really want to ask you why you have a Band-Aid on your arm. No, I really want you to just go.
Yes.
That's like true Sheldon
I like that.
form.
I also liked when he was like, how did you smell at this No. Tell me how you smelled in the past, in the present, at this moment, if it's similar to how you smell now.
Yeah.
Do you smell the same as you do in this
Yeah, do you
moment?
smell the same?
Yes.
That's what it was.
Really
And he's like,
random.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Again, nobody knows how to offend quite like Sheldon
No.
does. You know what I mean?
True.
So, all right.
Well, you got to bring up Amy in the roommate thing.
That's
He
true.
did
That's
some
true. Yes, he does.
Skyping
That was-
of Amy, who he says is the best choice. Her credit report was great. She qualified, and he
She's a
brought her in on
scientist,
Skype.
Yeah.
I think this was more an attempt of Sheldon's to maybe get Amy back. It was another.
course.
It was another. Hey, move in with me. I miss you.
Right.
But he doesn't know how to articulate that, of course. So he runs her credit instead,
Which is something she's wanted to move in. She wanted to move in for so long, and then he does it in this way. He's like, I've had 11 other people walk out, and she's like, Now you want to move in?
Oh, well, the best is Chris Pratt was his first choice, but he couldn't get in touch with Chris Pratt.
Right.
Who would have had to have the smaller bedroom, may I add. It wasn't even the large bedroom for the Hollywood star.
Well, of course, because of course we go to Chris Pratt. You know, that's, I mean, I don't know, maybe you
He's
guys
all the
might.
rage now.
He is all the rage right now. So then, of course, we finally, they do decide to go out to leave. Leonard leaves, and then him and Penny find themselves on at dinner time, trying to make dinner decisions. And of course, Sheldon's influence still takes over.
With the Thai food.
I mean, I think after 8 years of being with someone and having to, deal with all their little eccentricities, and this is Thai night, this is Indian night, he's kind of like, I don't know what to do. Like, he's lost a little bit without Sheldon.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
It not only brings back memories, but it's Thai food, which is delicious. He probably all week is looking forward to Thai.
Right.
And now he's like, I can't even, he's almost like, wait, does this mean since Sheldon's out of our lives that we can't even do things that we did with him? It's almost like he's taken the separation almost as intense as Sheldon is.
I think he has like a panic attack almost.
I think it also comes down to, as someone who has OCD a little, because I'm that way, when you have so many decisions, it can be hard to make. And so I think that Leonard is finally realizing that Sheldon's insane, but there's a method to his madness, so that on Thai night, it's Thai night. You don't have to make a decision. I'm going to wear the same thing every day because I don't have to decide. And so I think that that's going to kind of play into it a bit, or it would have had they stayed separated.
And my favorite moment of that as well is now he's not going to know what the weather is in the morning during his pee schedule, his bathroom schedule, which was, I would love to know the weather when I wake up in the morning if it's printed. It's like you're on a cruise ship.
Exactly.
The itinerary.
I actually worked on a cruise ship, and it's like every morning you get that little paper underneath saying what country you're in and what the weather's going to be like, and that's awesome.
Sheldon was the cruise director.
Yeah.
Of course, we have iPhones that do that now, so that does help. So we still can see the weather.
Then you have to look it up yourself. And, this is kind of just handed to you.
Right, but at least it's interactive. So you can see the news and the weather, and then you can check Facebook and Twitter and all the other crazy things that you like to do with your phone. So,
but then you can't wipe yourself the iPhone. He could have peed, took up the weather report, and just wiped his butt with it.
You just went to a totally different direction on that one, didn't you?
Just trying to multitask, guys. Just trying to multitask.
So of course they then come to a decision, and Plenty decide that they don't want to leave Sheldon out of it, and they're like, well, why don't we just keep things the way they are in true sitcom fashion? You can't ever go forward with anything, or it always has to come back to where we were, and they do.
Yeah.
And Penny says we could think of him like our dog, and Sheldon loves this idea.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. They got a dog.
What kind of dog do you think Sheldon would be?
Saint Bernard.
St. Bernard, really?
Kind of cuddly, annoying, and slobbery, I think. But he's not
What's like that long, lanky dog that's super tall and has almost no hair on it? A
Weimaraner?
Not a Weimaraner. I don't know why I was saying that. But there's
maybe like a greyhound.
Maybe a greyhound.
So it's like really, I don't know, but they're like really regal as well.
And they're also very fast. I don't know. We can't compare him to it. He's a Sheldon. He's a breed of his own.
He'd be like a
but
new
then
kind.
we have to also talk about him reverting back to 2003. Before deciding that's how he's going to deal with it. He's going to go back to before he met Leonard, and then he changes the apartment to exactly how it was before he met Leonard. Even though he loves that couch, he put it in the bedroom, and he's like, this is how I'm going to deal with it.
And then the flip phone, of course.
And the flip phone.
He goes right back to 2003, and it shows that he really thinks of him. He's trying to think of himself as if he's a computer. He's like rebooting himself to before the time that he actually had emotions. So he's acknowledging the fact that through his relationship with Leonard, his relationship with Amy, and his friendships, he's actually grown emotions.
Yeah.
And to him, it's like a fungus that he's trying to get rid of, or a computer virus.
Yeah, it's probably more like a computer virus.
Yes.
And like talk to the hand. That's so 2003. Penny's like, no, definitely was not 2003.
That was great. Yeah.
So in the end, he ends up loving the idea of becoming their dog.
Yes.
Which, why not? And so we're back to square one.
Back to square
Who
one.
wouldn't like to be a dog, honestly? They have the best life.
So let's talk about footprints on the moon.
Yes.
We have Raj and Howard talking to Stuart, and he's talking about how he wants live music for the comic book store, and they decide to start a band.
Oh, the best band, Footprints on the Moon. I'm like ready to download their song on my iPhone right now if it's available.
I bet you it will be.
I know.
Filk music.
Which
Filk
is that
music.
an actual genre? Or
No.
is it going to be an actual genre?
We'll have to look it up.
I think it's going to become an actual genre of music now.
Well, that song should be a hit. That's
Yes.
for sure, because it's stuck in my head.
And the dance,
Forever.
the dance that at the end of it, Raj does,
His little
and then
image.
in the lightning or with bones.
We can do it at parties. Here's the thing. It's when they start writing the music, it's kind of corny at first, but I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Like I really liked it at the end. I was jamming to it.
No, when Howard started hitting the high notes, when he was like Thor and Dr. Bones, and then he goes, I don't sing, by the way, but if I did,
That was
But you
really
just
good,
did.
yeah.
You just
but
did.
if I did, that was an amazing moment. Like, because that
Their
always
harmonies and like with the keyboard and the guitar. I mean, I think the bromance in this episode was epic. I loved it. It worked really well.
It did it for me. I mean, here's the thing. We finally see Emily in this episode, which was kind of cool. And, in true Yoko fashion, she basically kind of tells him it's cute, which I don't know if you ladies know this, but when your significant other, when she says to you, it's cute, we don't like that. Even if we know that you mean it in a good way, we want to hear hot, we want to hear sexy, we want to hear amazing, we want to hear that shook me.
It's good to know.
that's
we don't
kind
want
of the
we don't want
reverse.
we don't want to hear cute. Girls like
no,
hearing
it's the
cute.
reverse too. Oh no, I was gonna say sometimes when someone's like, "Oh, you're cute," I'm like, "Excuse me." I'm like, I gotta start patting this or something.
Guys don't like hearing cute. So she gets right inside Raj's head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
And then he thinks they should change it and wants to, breaks up the band. She basically breaks up the band for a moment.
like not
about
even 5 minutes.
12 seconds, I think
Yes.
it was. They get back together, and
What took you so long? They hug.
it's what was it? It was literally bromance over homance. We're gonna say it.
Yes.
We're just gonna
Can
right.
we just sing that chorus real quick all
Do it.
together?
Do-
I think we should.
Oh.
So it starts with Thor and Dr. Jones.
No,
Thor
no,
and
no.
Dr. No. Okay.
No, I'm gonna nix it.
The other plays with stones.
You can sing. I will lose
you go.
viewers if I sing. I will lose us the viewers. So they play their first gig, and how did it go?
Terrible.
Not so good.
Not so good,
Not
right?
so good.
One of the
They
things,
want something to dance to in
right.
the comic store.
I was going to say, one of the things that Emily criticized Raj about was that you can't dance to it. And then that's when he tried to prove her wrong. And then in the end, obviously, Stuart
You can't
says,
dance to it.
give us something you can dance
But
to.
hey, it leaves the door open for a lot of more future music.
Yes.
So for the other episodes, hopefully this band stays together. I can
They're-
only imagine they would.
They're going to need to add percussion.
They're gonna need
They-
percussion.
They need a little percussion. Maybe Howard can make that, work on the keyboard.
Does that, does that go with the Filk genre?
Well,
know.
Sheldon could take out his frustration and be the
hit-
new drummer.
Be the drummer.
I could see him being a good drummer.
There's been a lot of music this season, which has been fun, and I
Yeah.
think a little throw in there of them because they all have a lot of ability, I think, and so throwing that in there, I think, is really.
Oh
been
my
fun.
gosh, Sheldon with last
Yeah,
episode
with
with
the
his
Queen.
song
Yeah.
with Queen. He has a great voice.
did,
They
he
got to
did.
get him in on this band.
He belted it out.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be an outlet for him, and he can start singing Filk music to get over Amy. And who knows? Who knows? I mean,
Who knows where it could go?
They could take it in so many directions. But one thing we did discuss, I think during one of the commercial breaks of actually watching the show was that true to form, like we had lots of laughs in this episode.
Yes,
so
I
many.
thought that they were really kind of back to. They really did bring it back because at first you think that we're going to have a roommate dissolution
Right.
situation, and then it comes back, obviously. But we had good laughs.
Yeah.
So I think that it's like one step forward, two steps back
Right.
in the evolution of everybody. But
And I think if they didn't do that, like something about Big Bang Theory that so many fans like is how you're familiar with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first couple episodes, which I loved all the episodes, but I was waiting for the laughs to come back. And now that
Right.
they're back, if they changed it so drastically and everyone split up,
Right.
it would not have done as it would not have been as pleasurable as it's been these last,
Yeah.
seasons. So I'm happy they kept it the same
Yeah.
way.
well, I think they also had to find a way to bring it back because if Leonard and Sheldon don't live together anymore, the show is on its way to ending,
That's
and we
what I
know
mean,
that we have 2
yeah.
more seasons. So they had to bring it back somehow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So okay, well, you know what? We're gonna take a quick little break. We're gonna come back with some YouTube shout outs and some Twitter shout outs. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Woohoo! Thor and Dr. Jones.
case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it. That was freaking oh my God.
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was like,
How did you get here? No.
Like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool. Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way and the right way.
But you were like, well, we want to know what's going to happen.
That was cute.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world. and
Another
we appreciate
beautiful
you so
summer
much.
at the stream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
All right, welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Don't forget, while you're watching right now, to subscribe to the channel right here. So we're gonna do some YouTube shoutouts. Lexi, you wanna do the YouTube shoutouts?
Absolutely.
Let's make it happen.
So thank you everybody for following us on the stream.tv, but also along on YouTube with all your comments and questions. So we'll get to a few of them. Ooh, some of them are really good. Well, the first one, this is by Thelonious. I hope I'm saying that right, Thelonious. He said, I thought, oh no, she said, oh no, oh, you're talking. You guys are talking in this. I love it. Jayla and Thelonious are having a complete conversation. He said, do you guys actually like the Thor Indiana Jones song?
I love it.
Loved
we love it.
it.
We love it.
Love
Loved
it.
it.
I want to
laughed
see the
hysterically.
movie. I want to see the
Yeah.
movie. They should make a movie. Thor
then-
and Dr. Jones.
And then I believe that someone then followed up with the same guy, Thelonious. Is that an actual genre? Which Tia asked as well.
And I think it's going to be. I think that's what we should make that a genre. Filk music.
Hey, if you guys are watching right now and you're live commenting, look it up, Google it, let us know. And tell us if it's an
Or
actual
write us
genre.
in some lyrics.
Yes,
Perhaps
yes.
start your own YouTube band.
Send
and
it in.
we'll work
I still think Thor and Dr. Jones. It's a movie.
It's a what?
It's a rom-com. Let's make it happen. Let's.
And then we have Jayla asked.
Yay,
Jayla's back.
Yeah, Jayla is, you're a good
We love
watcher.
you, Jayla.
Thank you, Jayla. She said, how do you think Leonard Penny Sheldon's roommate agreement will work out? Now, I guess this was prior to them getting back together in terms of roommates.
Well, now they do have an agreement.
They have to make the new one, right?
Yeah, they have to make the new roommate
one.
agreement because they're going to be living in both places.
Oh, so she's speaking of the future
Yeah.
one. I thought you meant the one where they disembark from the
future.
room.
Yeah, I think she means the future one.
I think
Future
that's
one?
going to be kind of tricky because
Yeah.
how is Sheldon going to regulate Penny's bathroom time?
Oh.
That's what I'm wondering
Yeah.
because
You know, he'll find some sort of scientific way for when they do stay over to like work her in the schedule. He's
she
pretty
could
good
always
at that.
she could always go home too, so that helps.
That's
That's
true.
true. And she's probably so used to it already. She already knows all the ins and outs of Sheldon's life.
They literally live 100 feet apart from each other, so it's like one big apartment with just a long hallway in between.
Although I do wonder, do you think now that maybe Leonard and Penny will have extra leverage because they're doing this for Sheldon to make him feel happier, or do you think it's
Perhaps.
going to go back in turn and
Like
he's
they-
just going to rule it?
No, they
No.
might very well like throw it in his face, but I don't even think Sheldon will view it that way. is
Yeah,
the
he
thing.
won't at all.
He'll view it as an honor that he's their dog.
Yeah.
He's the show dog winner in his mind. He already won the Westminster. I can never say that.
Westminster.
Westminster. He already won.
Well, but I mean, in the sense of like, if he tries to put in any agreements in the roommate or clauses in the roommate agreement that they don't like, do you think that they're going to maybe have some leverage to
Oh,
kind of kick him
maybe.
out? Because before it was just this is it, you got to sign it, and that's the end of
that
it.
is a great topic. Yes,
That's
in
what I'm
that
wondering.
terms, absolutely.
I think
Because
they
he
will.
wants-
But I think also because he wants this, because he wants them to still all be together, that he's not going to try anything weird with the
But he's going to
agreement.
be a lot more susceptible to giving in to their demands.
True.
Is
That's what I
think
think.
definitely that's a great point. Well, I guess we'll
I
have
can't
to
wait
find
to see
out.
it.
Yeah.
Do we
Wow,
want to
filter.
hit one more YouTube
Yeah, let's
shout
hit
out
one
just
more
for fun?
shout out. So let's see what else we got. One girl says, I want to see it. Well, now you're seeing it. First episode of the season, Stuart was like really single, really having marital problems, question mark. I guess that was just the comment.
Wait, Stuart
Stuart, yeah.
was
Stuart's
really single.
eternally single.
Eternally
Remember?
single.
Yeah.
Pasty roommate that Bernadette would pay $1,000 to get rid
And
of.
literally, my favorite. I love Stuart. I think he was brilliant in this episode. I think he's a brilliant character, and I laughed hysterically tonight at his his whole shenanigans with having Sheldon as a roommate. He was like, nope, not gonna think about it. Nope, didn't even like no second thoughts.
Which is so funny because his moments are so quick but so impactful
Yes.
in comedy.
Yes.
The first
He's
scene
great.
when he said no, you barely even saw his head. I
Yeah.
swear it was just his body, but it still made us laugh. Like just when he speaks.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's comedy.
he's underrated, I think.
Very
he's
much
definitely
so.
underrated.
I just want to one more person. This is I'm going to spell it. Sentaikat. Said, I laughed and laughed at the line when they said Emily will say where she buried Raj's body.
Love that one too.
That was a great line.
I wonder.
Absolutely.
I read somewhere that someone said that the show's going to end with Sheldon killing Amy or something like that, and I don't think so.
No.
But that just brought that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe she will bury Raj at some point. Who knows?
I don't know where.
All right, let's move on to some Twitter shout-outs. Tia,
All
let's
right.
take those away. What do you think?
Yeah, I have a few people that I wanted to shout out from last week. Thank you for, again, watching the show, and keep watching and tell your friends. At Mandy Me, thank you. At Miss Jen 325, she said she loved the show last week. At Noodlehead Prods Productions was another one, and at Utley too. Thank you guys so much for reaching out and talking to us on Twitter. We really appreciate it. And for this week, there's a few people who, the first one I have here is from Savi Blissa, and it says, I feel so bad for Sheldon. He's not with Amy, and now his best friend is moving out. Poor Shelley.
We can all relate,
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, I feel terrible.
Yeah, I think, and you could see it when he was like, the next one from the Big Bang Buzz, when he says, or Amy's wedding when she's marrying someone better than me. And that just made my heart drop because he was so sad about that. I mean, and he really thinks it's true, I think, in some part of his brain.
Did anyone else, when that happened, did anyone else think, oh, maybe Penny's going to pick up on the fact that Sheldon was going to propose, maybe, and then probe into that, and maybe then go tell Amy, and then maybe that's going to be their workaround to getting them back together? Because that I thought about that when
I
he
did
was saying
think about it, but when Penny's face, it looked like it went. It looked in one ear out the other. It just had like emotion towards it. I don't know if she caught on.
I think she just felt bad.
I just found it interesting that he admitted that someone could be better than him.
Yeah,
That's true too.
That's a huge
I think
a
it's
huge
just
moment.
it's taking its toll on him. This whole situation is taking its toll on poor Sheldon, and he's like a 5-year-old learning how to deal with his emotions.
Yeah.
I think that it's really indicative of good writing though, because I think that they're really kind of portraying an evolution with Sheldon in this moment, where because everybody's kind of growing up and moving on, and they're doing it in a comedic way. So
Yeah, absolutely.
To that effect, at Calhoun Monique says tonight's episode cracks me up. Love the cast and writers. You guys are an amazing job, which I would say yes. Tonight, it was like my favorite so far. I laughed. They will tell you I laugh and I snort, and it's just, I think tonight's episode gave us a lot of what we love about The Big Bang Theory.
I think next week we're gonna record your laughter, and then we're gonna play it live. What do you think? Tweet at us live. Remember hashtag Big Bang AS. Tweet all week. We're gonna respond, and if you want to hear Tia's laugh,
Which
that's happening from the episode, then tweet it and let us know. So we're gonna do a couple of Reddit questions from last week's episode that I just want to kind of get to. Redditor Johnny Me Too says, I don't know, I didn't like that episode at all, talking about last week. He goes, are scientists really that helpless in real life? I don't think so. I know it's supposed to be an exaggeration, funny, but come on. The one with the heaving parcel up the stairs, calculating the force, back then was funny, but this here was just sad and pathetic. Another sign the producers want to attract the broad mass instead of the nerds like in the beginning. I disagree, guys. What do you think?
Wait, I'm
So he's basically saying that he's saying that they're helpless, and are scientists really that helpless in real life?
I can understand what he's saying because they are so smart, and it's like you can't change a tire. So I understand where he's going with it.
Oh, okay, okay. I wasn't sure what we were talking about.
Oh, sorry, from last week's episode with the tire and the van going up in flames, and I don't know. I personally thought that this had nothing to do with smarts. This was brawn. They couldn't get the lug nut off. I've seen other threads where they're like, well, you got to get the car jacked up first. And I'm like, no, because then if you turn it while it's jacked up, you can actually roll the thing off of the jack.
gosh.
So you got to loosen everything first and then take it off after it's jacked up.
You're right about the brawn part. That's probably more what it is.
I mean, they
absolutely.
knew. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. Howard knew what he was doing. He was the one taking the lug nut off. It was just that one was stuck. So they're like, well, how do we get that one unstuck?
Yes.
I don't think it had. I think, yes, scientists are very smart. They're smart in their fields. They're smart when it comes to their scientific, things. But I think sometimes the common sense or the everyday man things. Sorry, not saying scientists aren't men, but maybe they haven't had to do that before. They've never had to change a tire. Well, none of them did except for Howard, actually.
I think at the end of the day, too, though, it just comes down to, it was a strength thing. They couldn't do it. They tried to figure it out. They set the van on fire. Guys, it's a sitcom at the end of the day. So yes, they've got to appeal to a broad range of people. Otherwise, it gets canceled. So we've got to have the laughs. Let's move on to the second one, which is an interesting thought. It's by Taz Midden, Redditor Taz Midden, from just a few days ago, saying, does anyone think Sheldon's character is ruined? In earlier seasons, he was awkward and annoying because of his intelligence. Now he just acts condescending and annoying for no reason.
I don't think
fighting words.
Yeah, I don't think it's no reason. Again, it's funny. I can understand all these people's points. Perhaps it's just because I'm so connected to these characters. I feel that I sympathize for them. But I don't think he's ruined. But he's definitely different.
He's going through growing pains. He's changing. He's finding emotions. He's dealing with things he's never had to deal with before. Yeah. So I think now it's coming out of a place of, where's this stuff coming from? And he's probably getting frustrated with it, not knowing how to deal with it because he's never had to before. So it's coming out as being maybe, what did he say?
Condescending, yeah, and annoying. But I think also that this also happened before this week's episode where we actually saw a more human side to Sheldon. I mean, we saw him hurting. You know, we felt for him, whereas in previous episodes, you don't really feel for Sheldon. You're just like, if things happen, you're like, haha. But now we're kind of feeling for him. And I think that we're really showing this character's evolution. And I think we're seeing all of the characters evolve, which is a really beautiful thing because in a show when characters don't, it kind of leaves you wanting more. And I think that they're doing a really good job evolving the characters.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Well.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead.
Did you have?
No, I just had one more Twitter thing. This is a great one from Maine Mischief. It says, Thor and Dr. Jones is the new smelly cat.
Ooh.
I love that.
This remains to be seen.
Then they're gonna have to play on stage with Taylor Swift because I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
Yeah. Real life Phoebe
yes.
played on stage with Taylor not too long ago. Smelly cat. So maybe
there you go.
Raj and Leonard will get with Taylor Swift.
That'll be interesting.
Time to do Thor and Dr. Jones.
Time will tell. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Go ahead and subscribe right now to the stream.tv right there on YouTube. And tweet at us all week using the hashtag BigBangAS. We will get back to you, I promise. And, leave comments on YouTube. We'll respond to those too. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye nerds and nerdettes. For more of the Big Bang After Show,
click that button and subscribe to
the stream.tv.